I want you to get your notebook out and I want you to write down 3 questions. We're just going to write them down and then we're going to come back and mastermind around these questions. And the first question is life a lottery ticket? Is life a lottery ticket? Now, the follow-up question, and go ahead and write this down, is why, and convince me. The second question I want you to write down is how can we change our thinking? How can we change our thinking? Now, the third question, there's a few more words to this one, so this is going to take you a little bit more space and a little bit more time. And I got them all cut, dude. I got them all cut. All right, the third question is, sorry guys, I'm juggling here. What has been your biggest failure? What has been your biggest failure so far? Now, that question's kind of broad. You can answer it however you want. Your biggest failure in life, your biggest failure as a real estate agent, you answer it however you want. What has been your biggest failure so far? What did you learn? What did you learn? How is your life now different or better as a consequence of this failure? How is your life now different or better as a consequence of this failure? All right, I have 3 main points that I want to share with you, and then we're going to get back to the questions. And point number 1. And guys, I know that one of the things that you'll ask is, what book am I reading from? Because I am sharing with you from one of my books, of course, and it's Andy Andrews' Mastering the 7 Decisions. All right, now I'm on pages 2 and 3. Give me one more minute, guys. I'm sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so from this moment forward, I will accept a responsibility for my past. I understand that the beginning of wisdom is to accept the responsibility for my own problems, and that by accepting responsibility for my past, I free myself to move into a bigger, brighter future of my own choosing. I will look forward. I will not let my history control my destiny. And where I am today, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, because of the decisions that I have made. My decisions have always been governed by my thinking. Therefore, I am where I am today, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, because of how I think. My mind in the future, my thoughts will be constructive, never destructive. My mind will live in the solutions of the future. It will not dwell in the problems of the past. So the power of thought, point number 2. Our choices have made us what we are today. And fundamentally, our thinking, the internal lens through which we see the world, creates a pathway to success or failure. To accept responsibility for our choices includes becoming aware of and accepting responsibility for our thinking. Despite what you may believe, outside influences are not responsible for where you are in life, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, or financially. You alone have chosen the path to your present destination. If you want to create a pathway to the success you've dreamed of, rather than the reality your current currently experiencing, change your thinking. All right. Point number 3, overcoming fear. God didn't give you the discernment to make right decisions all of the time. You know, ready, aim, fire, or ready, fire, aim. I'm definitely a ready, fire, aim person. And some of us are ready, aim, fire, not good or bad. Just is. Some of us are ready, aim, 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 fire. And the reason is because we can be afraid to make a choice, because what if it's the wrong choice? Make a choice. Get into action. You're not always going to make the right choices, but you can make the choices right. And all that means is make a choice and make adjustments. God didn't give you the discernment to make right decisions all the time. He did, however, grant you the ability to make wrong decisions right. Don't allow the rise and fall of your emotional tide to deter you from your course. You're constantly fighting a battle. It's in here. I promise you, I know. And how do I know? Because I am. And you're just like me. Your life should not be an apology. It should be a statement. An extraordinary demonstration of the possibilities within all of us. Great ideas and inspiration often come from rock bottom. If you were on my call yesterday, we talked about rock bottom. Many of us are where we are today because of the choices we made when we were at rock bottom. And you may know someone who's not here today because of the choices they made at rock bottom. Thomas Watson, founder of IBM, said, "That's where success lies, on the far side of failure." Success lies on the far side of failure. When things don't go as planned, it generally means you need to make a course correction. We've all heard how Thomas Edison responded to the notion that he failed 10,000 times creating the light bulb. I didn't fail. I just discovered 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. When you view your failures as opportunities for growth and discovery, you free yourself from the fear of failure. Now, back to the 3 questions that I started this conversation with, and we're going to have a little bit of a conversation around these 3 questions. Question number 1, is life a lottery ticket? Yes, no, why? Convince me. Question number 2, how can we change our thinking? And then question number 3, what has been your greatest failure? Where are you because of that failure? Who are you because of that failure? What did you learn? All right, take yourself off mute. Talk to me. If you're in the room, raise your hand and talk to me. Vivian, your hand is still up. I don't know if it's up from earlier or if you're put it back up, but I'm here. If you want to talk, let's talk. Madeline, you're up.
I've been failing so much, but I've gotten so much better at what I'm doing, so I'm grateful for that. But I hate to speak to lose offers. Can you hear me okay?
It's in and out, but I'm making out what you're saying.
Okay, this is better, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've been failing, and last night when I was in bed, I said, it doesn't matter, I'm failing forward. I'm failing, but I'm failing forward.
Love that. Yeah. Yeah. And I think everything is perspective. I would say you're not failing. You're just not succeeding yet. You are on a journey with a destination that is assured. You have a super bright future in front of you. I can see it. You know, it's easier for me to see it because I'm not you.
Thank you for that, because last night I was so upset. I was frustrated. I said, that's it, I quit. And then I said, no, I can't quit. Quitting is not an option. It's just not an option. It really isn't. But it's just so frustrating because I wish that I had an idea, John. I'm like, why can't we just in a big office and just work amongst each other and exchange deals and not deal with any other realtors? I wish we could do that.
Wouldn't that be a wonderful world?
Yeah.
I second that motion. Clarissa in the room and then Victoria on Zoom.
So you asked the question, is life a lottery ticket?
Yeah.
I do not believe that it is. I think with lotteries, there's a game of chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't believe that life is a game of chance. I think life is planned from the onset. I do believe that there are decisions that we make because we have free will.
Mm-hmm.
And in making those decisions,
Mm-hmm.
you'll have the effect of the consequences that go along with making the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that when poor decisions are made,
Mm-hmm.
that you can correct them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can change the trajectory
Yep.
of those decisions. But I do not think life is a game of chance.
Okay. All right. So thank you for that. And I agree. And I have a little bit of a different perception, and I'll wait until the end of the call to share that. It's not a different opinion. I'm not saying that I disagree with you. I just have a little bit of a different opinion on this conversation, and I'll share it with you before we finish the call. Victoria Gordo, and then Madeline.
Hi, thank you so much. So I've always had a trouble with the word failure, and only because I appreciate about failing forward, and everybody here that's showing up, working their butt off, is going to have the rewards going forward because you're playing in the game. And lottery, is life a lottery ticket? Absolutely, if you're playing. So for me, if you're sitting on the sidelines, you're not going to have anything showing up. Mm-hmm. And it's about the consistency and moving forward. And you can't look at it. I mean, Vivian, awesome job. And yeah, you're writing offers, and look at what you're noticing. What I want to cheer you on. Like, I want to jump through the screen and hug you because you're showing up, and look who's not. Mm. And that's your story. That's what I'd be screaming to everybody on the phone. Like, I'm here for you right now, and look who's not showing up. So I think that's a huge lottery ticket.
Good job. Good job, Victoria. Proud of you, girl. Madeline.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay. So answering the question about life, is life a lottery ticket? My answer is no and yes. No, because God created us, He gave us life with a purpose. Now, it's like a lottery ticket? Yes. If we talk about as an analogy, yes. Because we win or we lost, according and depending on our choices. So we make right choices, then we're gonna win and we're gonna succeed. And if we choose or do wrong choices, then it's when we're gonna lose, and then it's when we're gonna face consequences. That's so far my answer for that one.
Nice job, Madeline. Very well done. That was a little bit of a different perspective for me, by the way, because I've talked about this many times, and that's the first time I've heard it put that way. Good job. Proud of you. Shirley, so good to see you.
Good to be seen.
Yes, agree.
A couple of thoughts, and the basis, the foundation of my thinking is going to be God's word. And even when it's not, I change the thinking. So that is the basis or the foundation. So I don't think my life is like a lottery ticket, just as has been mentioned. God created me. And then when you think of a lottery ticket, you're thinking of the winner is dependent on how many people play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter how many people are alive and living, my success is guaranteed. There's a destination that's guaranteed. I just have to continue on the path that is laid. I can't look at Chandra's path. I can't look at your path. I have to continue on my path. I have to do the work. I have to show up, and I have to implement.
Good stuff. Really good stuff. Thank you. All right, I'm going to give you some thoughts on my answers to the questions. Guys, if you have more that you want to contribute, please raise your hand and I will call on you, of course. First question, is life a lottery ticket? Let's change the question to, is life a game of chance? And my answer is yes, it is. We don't get to choose where we're born. All of you who were born in the United States, you literally were born with a winning lottery ticket. Very, very fortunate to be born here. For those of you who have moved to the United States from another country, I think of my good friend, Catherine Jozar, who moved here from Venezuela. And I think of what Venezuela looks like today, and Catherine has a winning lottery ticket. You don't get to choose if you're born into a family who loves you and takes care of you, or if you're born into abuse and neglect. It's not a choice. And you don't get to choose if you're born healthy, or if you're like Nick Vukovich, who was born with no arms and no legs. You don't get to choose if you're in a car accident. It's not your fault, but you are seriously injured as a result of that car accident. It's not a choice. It's a bad lottery ticket. You don't get to choose if you get cancer. Nobody would choose that. Now, it's also not a lottery ticket, because you do get to choose how you respond to all of these life conditions. Nick Vukovich chose to respond by asking, what can I do to make a difference in the world? And because of that, he's an evangelist who travels the country today, sharing his story and sharing hope for eternal life with a perfect body. He's changing lives with that story. You saw someone yesterday on my call who is dealing with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, who is responding by living one day at a time. One of the things he said to me after the call was over was, I just have to live in the day, just today. I can't get outside my headlights and start getting into the dark, scary desert where I can't see what life looks like. I have to get back into my headlights and just stay in the headlights. That's responding to a losing hand in a positive way. Now, the other question that I asked you was, how can we change our thinking? 2 ways. Number 1, read books. Read lots of books. And guys, I'm going to encourage you to get books and just chew them up. I want them to look like this. I'm not sure if I did this or Casper did this or who did this, but My books are beat up. They're written in. There's highlighters and different colors and notes because I read them over and over and over again. I've read The Traveler's Gift more than 40 times. Read books. Get a book in your hand, a highlighter in the other hand, and be on a search for knowledge. You should get into that book with, who am I going to become? What am I going to learn? What knowledge can I find that will allow me to change the way I think? The other way you change your thinking is who you associate with. Look at your inner circle of people who you spend the most time with. Hang out with a better tribe. A year from now, you will be the same person you are today, other than the books you read and the people you associate with. Now, the third question that I asked was, what has been your biggest failure so far? What did you learn? How is your life now different or better as a consequence of that failure? Now, that's an answer that not everybody's going to want to share publicly. I get it. Again, you saw a perfect example of that yesterday. Just go back and watch the video. I'm not going to try to top that because I can't. I'm just going to leave it there. How you think matters. You know, if I were to title, which I probably will when I put this on YouTube, if I were going to title this conversation to this morning, it would be How You Think Matters. It matters a lot. You know, when I was brand new to Keller Williams Realty and I'm sitting in a mastermind with Gary Keller, and this was when he was publishing The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It wasn't out yet. He was in the process. It was in the process of being published. And one of the things he shared in that mastermind was, and he's talking about himself and the leadership team at Keller Williams, and they're having a conversation about the future of Keller Williams and all of you. Now think about the vision at this time, because at the time, Keller Williams was not the company it is today. We're 182,000 agents, the largest real estate company the world has ever seen. It's not just the largest real estate company in the world. We're the largest real estate company the world has ever seen. Now, at this time, maybe 20,000 agents in Keller Williams. It's a small company. And Gary was sharing with us a conversation that he had with his leadership team, talking about the future of this company. And he said, our number one goal is to teach our people how to think. And how they think will become their greatest strategic advantage. Our number one goal is to teach our people how to think. And how they think will become their greatest strategic advantage. Now, remember that statement like it was yesterday, because it meant that much to me. How we think matters. How we think really matters. I hope you guys got great value today. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Yeah.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Yeah. My pleasure. Yeah, my pleasure. One more call this week. I will see everybody tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., taking off Thursday and Friday for Christmas. I will be back next week, Monday through Thursday, and then Friday next week is New Year's Eve. So plan ahead and time to get to work. What's work? So work is 40 conversations, 20 conversations. 40 is good. It's 10 or it's 5, whatever your standard is. But it's a standard. It's not a goal. It's a non-negotiable standard. If you set a standard to have 10 conversations and you only have 8, because 8's pretty close, isn't it? You didn't have the 9th conversation, which could have been $1 million listing that you didn't get because you simply didn't have the conversation. It's 10 times. Hey, this is John Dietz with Keller Williams Realty. The reason for my call is a home in your neighborhood recently sold, and we have buyers that are looking for great homes like yours. And I was just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? All right, I had that conversation 8 times. Don't know anyone, 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 don't know anyone. And on the 8th call, I'm like, I'm done. I'm tired of rejection. This sucks. I'm not having fun. And I'm done. And I don't have the 9th conversation. Hey, John Dietz, Keller Williams Realty, reason for my call, blah, blah, blah. And on the 9th call, I hear, you know what? I'm glad you called. I was actually thinking of selling my house. Maybe we should get together. And you schedule an appointment. You go on the appointment and you get $1 million listing because you picked up the phone on the 9th conversation versus giving up. Failure, success. It can be the difference in just one conversation. Is that always going to be true? No, it's not. Will it be true sometimes? Yeah, it will. What is work? Work is 5 conversations, or it's 10, or it's 20, whatever your standard is. Don't settle. Don't settle. All right, everybody, make it a great day.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.